Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Wednesday, May the 17th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create multiple hypotheses in order to have a plan in place for whatever the market throws at us. We do not try to predict the market. We put a plan in place, then we determine which plan suits the market, and then we execute on that plan. We do not try to fly by the seat of our pants. We have an actionable plan with trade levels and targets based on what the market shows us on the open. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer, if I can find it. There it is. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the trades they see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Gold is about to break this next key level at 1250, gang. Just a heads up for you. Okay, let's take a look at the news. News today, not much. We've got crude inventory at 10:30, and that's about it. The big news is going to be headline news. Of course, last night we had a major sell-off on the news that Comey apparently has memos that Trump actually asked him on February 14th to lay off Flynn because Flynn's a good guy. And if this memo is acceptable as evidence, it could be an impeachable offense. So the market reacted last night. News came out. We rotated right back down into the 8350. That is the just near the microcomposite VPOC, which is at 85.75 right now. But you can see we came in and we found the buyers in around that 79 area, 80 area where they keep stepping in. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let's take a look at yesterday. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction in range, a move down into value, and then to rotate up and go and put in a new all-time high. That was Hypo 1. Hypo 2 was a failure to get above the overnight high or false breakout, and then find responsive sellers, and then rotate us down back into value, chop around, and then push down and come down into the 97, 98 area and go sideways. Hypo 3 was actually a open test drive or drive down to the 93 area with a push through down to the 91 to 90 area. So we got basically a driving type open that looked like it was going to be Hypo 3, but it actually turned out to be Hypo 2, and they just overextended it a little bit. Beautiful FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky Tech Gap here. This trade was probably the trade of the day, and then if you didn't catch the short, and then, you know, we rotated and we basically went sideways inside of the balance. I mean, of the two-day balance, you know, you had the microcomposite VPOC the day before was at 99.50, and we closed with our VPOC at 98.75. So we basically closed within 3 ticks of balance. But again, overnight we fell out of bed and we've come right back down into our overall balance zone right here in around. Before I get into the analysis, let's just step back and take a look at the macro. I always like to start the day taking a look at simple candlestick chart with the 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I start with the monthly, And what I'm doing is I'm looking for the strength of the trend, where we are within the trend in the different time frames, so that I have no bias in terms of short time frame bias, because I know where we are within the different time frames. You can see that beautiful, good slope, good separation. We just went in and put a new all-time high at 24.0450. I don't know why this keeps giving me the wrong high, but the high is that 24.0450, and you know, we've got good slope and separation. The trend is very much intact on the daily. On the weekly, same thing, but we do have a failed auction up here on the daily, and we're broken below last week's low, and we did put an excess high in yesterday. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that the auction could be changing and a new auction is starting to the downside. But we do not violate the trend until we get back below the 23.6775 area. That's the first challenge of the trend, and the complete violation will be below 23.41 area. Going to the daily, you can see on the daily we have broken below the 9. We're testing the 20 right now. We're seeing a violation of the trend, in progress. It's not completed. We do have this gap zone. Remember, we still have this gap zone down here on the daily, and this new auction could be the next target down here. We've got a naked cross down here at 23.50 as well. Going to the intraday, you can see that we have violated the upward trend. We have a possibility of a start of a new trend. We did create a naked cross on the way down at 92.50. We had a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky on the 4-hour. I consider that this FUBAR Mr. Sneaky is closed. It came within a tick of the technical gap, closed against the 9, and so far we've rejected that, and we're coming down towards the lows. But the trend is down on the 4-hour. On the 1-hour, you can see that we had strong slope and separation. Again, FUBAR Mr. Sneaky closed the tech gap, failed at the 20, and now we're breaking below the 9 and the 20. And going to the 30-minute, same thing. Okay, they tried to violate the trend and work their way up, and now they're failing again and coming down towards the overnight lows. And then the 15-minute, you can see again, start of a downward trend. We do have some naked crosses above us, so I am expecting a possible rotation up this morning, and we'll talk about that. You can see on the 5-minute, we've got good slope and separation, and the trend is fairly strong to the downside. So taking a look at the big picture, you can see that, you know, we had our gaps. Okay, we gapped up. You know, we blew right through this gap right here that we had 2 days ago, and we're now down in this distribution of the microcomposite. The microcomposite VPOC is 85.75. We're below the smaller time frame. You can see this outline right here of this 8 days of balance. The microcomposite VPOC was 83.50. We're below that as well, and we're coming down, and the value area low was tested overnight with the low overnight down at the 23.79.75. So we still have not auctioned this portion of this wick, and you know, we have this wick and this wick, so we could get stuck in the wicks today. But I think with the news, we could see some continuation and a move down towards the key line in the sand, which is going to be down here at 74.50. If we can hold the 79 or even just dip below the overnight and find buyers again, you know, look for them for the rotation up into the 83.50 and 85.75 area, possibly even back up into the 87. We do have this gap zone that we're going to have to contend with now, you know, that we gapped over last night. And we're going to have a fairly large gap. I mean, the low yesterday was 93.75, so we're going to have a greater than 10-point gap if we stay below the 83.75 area, which is going to be less likely for it to close the gap. So taking a look at the Globex, inventory is pretty well 95% short, if not 100% short. So if we get back above the 90.75, these shorts are going to get caught in the hole, and we could get a squeeze all the way up into the 95 to 98 area. But I find that's going to be probably unlikely, based on the current auction. And once they start disseminating the news going into the RTH session, and we get the daytime framers going to be running to the excess, this could accelerate. So we could get some range expansion today. So moving our numbers over, our overnight high, what was the overnight high? 90 even? Sorry, 98 even. So our overnight high is 98, just below, 2 ticks below the naked VPOC. Our overnight low is 79.25. So far, it could actually go lower. Just got to do some cleanup here. Oops. Our overnight high is 98. Our daily ATR is still below 14. So 98 minus 1345, which is the 20-period full session day daily ATR, takes us to 84.50. So we are actually below the daily downside ATR, which means that we could get extension and a trend day to the downside. So we have to be careful of that. Last week's low is down at 75.50. We did put in our weekly low today at 79.25. Our high for the week is 24.0450. We went up and then we adjusted that unequalized high between the Globex and the RTH yesterday on the open. Our weekly ATR is 33.10. So if I take 33.10 off of the current high, our weekly ATR, okay, comes up to 71.50. I'm not going to worry about the upside because I doubt we'll get there. Our VPOC overnight is not likely to shift. We're breaking down again. We're probably going to put in a new overnight low. 83.50 is our overnight VPOC. Getting awfully crowded here. And we want to pay attention to this 89. I'm actually going to use the 90.75, 90.50 as a, actually I'm going to use 90. I've got a naked close there at 91. We have this gap area with some major targets in it. So we got to pay attention to those. Plus, if we get above that 90 area, we're then have this thin area, and we're going to get these shorts caught in the hole, and we could get a move pretty quickly up through, and we'd be targeting, a couple things. One is going to be the range low at 93.50. Of course, the value area is valid for yesterday at 96. I'm just doing the upward numbers because they're not going to be hard to identify. All right, and then the downside in this area, balance is at the 85.75. And we've got a target at 83.50, which is basically just below the current VPOC, or it's right on the VPOC. So that's going to be my immediate target this morning. And we are putting in a new overnight low here. Crap. Wow. Starting early. I wish I was able to be trading this right now. So we just put in a new low at 78. Hold on a second. I just put the position on here. Wow. Okay, so we've got to make an adjustment here. 78 plus the 1345 is 91.50. Where's my upside? Wow, just really crowded in that zone. Sorry, gang, it's just with the market moving, and I'm trying to make adjustments here. And our new week low is going to be that 78 as well, so our weekly comes down. $24.09. It's always difficult when the market's moving while I'm doing this. Okay, so let's talk about hypothesis today. Anytime we have a big gap like this, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we could get a open test drive or an open drive. I'm actually looking for an open auction out of range. I wanted to show you this chart right here. This is the market profile chart. Okay, we do have a excess high that was put in, and we've broken down below, okay, and we are below this balance area here and trading all the way down here. So we are starting a new auction. So that is my hypothesis, and my hypothesis, hypo 1 is an open auction, and we're going to put another new low in here, right here. My hypothesis is an open auction out of range, a rotation up into the 83 to 84 area, maybe even up into the 86, but I'm looking for initiative sellers to take control today and push us down, test the 74.50, okay, and we're putting in new lows. Hard to do this when the market's moving like this. We'll have to make the adjustments on the ATRs, but taking a look at the composite, if we break the 74.50, I'm looking for us to come down. Okay, we're going to close this gap here most likely and come down to the 69.75 and probably chop around in this area right here and come down and test this 64.75. We have made a big move overnight, but so far they continue to sell this market. And we're coming right back up into balance in gold too. So hypo 1 is an open auction, out of range, out of value, rotation up towards the 83, 84, maybe even 87, but I'm looking for initiative sellers to step in and push us down, test the key line in the sand, chop around here, and break down below and come down into the 69.70 area. Maybe a little bit lower, but we have made a pretty big move so far. Hypo 2 is going to be an open auction out of range, a push down to take out the overnight low, test the 74.50, maybe even down to the 71s, but find responsive buyers and start walking our way back up towards the 87, 86 area, possibly even up into this 90, 91. I'm not expecting much more than that to the upside. Hypo 2 has got an equal weighted opportunity to Hypo 3, and Hypo 3 is going to be an open test drive, a move up, failure somewhere in the 80, 50 to 80, 75, maybe even 83, but then open test drive, sellers take control, push us right down into the 74, break it quickly, come down, and then chop around in the 70 area, and then push through down into the 64 to 55 area. And that's my Hypo 3. Hypo 4 has got to be an open auction and going sideways and chopping between the 87 and 74 area and just maturing the auction here. It's a when the market's moving like this based on headline news, we're revaluing. And when you're revaluing, it's hard to know exactly how the participants are going to react. And if it does get scared, we could get a big move down, and we have to accept the fact that we could be closing somewhere down in the 50s as a possibility. I don't think it's going to be as big as that, but we have to prepare ourselves. And I wish I had more definitive plans, but we're going to be opening in an area where it's going to be extremely tough to trade. So don't get married to any positions, okay? It's going to be erratic on the open. There's going to be some large rotations, and you just want to be careful. We just put in a double Renko reversal setup here, so probably going to get a rotation into the open up to this 81 1/4. I wanted to take a look at gold. Last night I was talking about this in the S5 room. We talked about it yesterday morning, that we were looking, oops, wrong one. We were looking for this auction to continue. We moved down to where the composite VPOC was when we started this move up, which was down in the 21 area. We came down, we found balance, and yesterday we were talking about if we broke the 39 area that we'd get up into the 42, and then if we broke the 45, we were looking for the return to the significant breakout candle, 50% retracement, which was at 47.10. And I reiterated that last night. I actually traded this last night. I actually went to bed and got up and traded it. I didn't stay in it long enough. And then our composite VPOC is at 1254.80. This is the most traded price going all the way back to 2008, October 2008. And we said if we got above this 45.80, we'd be looking for us to move up into that 54.80, and we're coming up to it. So far, our high overnight is 54.20, so we missed this by 6 ticks so far. I expect this to get hit. I'm also expecting to see some responsive selling coming in, but there's going to be a flight to safety. So you might get a counter rotation here, but we're likely going to continue this auction. The next big target is where we fell out of balance up here at the 65, 66 area, but we'll probably chop around in here. But as they look for flight to safety, with the volatility that's going to come in on this news and possible impeachment, you're going to see metals get a lot stronger. I'm looking for continuation up, but we've moved almost $40 so far off of that swing low at 1430. So we could stall around the magnet and shop around here, or get a counter rotation and come back down to test this side of balance at the 46 area. So just be careful. Be careful all the way around today. It's not going to be normal trading when you've got headline news which could change the face of history. You have to be very careful. Anyway, I wish I had more definitive for you. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.